Something's going to pop up and it's going to say, got it. You've got to hit the got it. Otherwise, it'll kick you out of the meeting.
Okay.
Okay, we are live and recording. Welcome, everyone. My name is Melissa Standridge, and I am the chair, the non-voting chair of the 5th Judicial District Nominating Commission. We are meeting today. It's our kickoff meeting. Judge Merlin Wheeler, Chief Judge Merlin Wheeler, has retired. And we are, in order not to have a long time vacancy before someone takes his place, we are going ahead and meeting now in anticipation of that September retirement. So before we start the meeting, I would like to introduce my Judicial Executive Assistant, Shelby Hardifer, who is going to call into the conference call line to see if anyone is waiting to listen in.
I'll go ahead and do that right now.
Hello, and welcome to the meeting. Please enter your passcode followed by the pound or hash key, and I'll connect you. Thank you for joining Global Meet. When you hear the tone, you will be the first person to join the meeting. The line will be silent until another person joins.
Hello, is anybody there? It doesn't appear that we have anyone on the conference call line, but I will leave it open for the duration of our meeting this morning.
Thank you, Shelby. Before we start, I would like everyone to introduce themselves. I've introduced myself and Shelby. So we could go in order of, people could just pop up and say who they are. Maybe let's have the non-lawyer members go first.
Hi, my name is Greg Bachman. I'm from Emporia, Kansas.
Nice to meet you, Greg.
I'm Leanne Crowfoot. I'm from Chase County, Kansas.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Deanne Corsack, and I'm from Emporia.
Great.
I'm
Okay,
Cindy Hodel. I'm also from Chase County, Kansas.
great. We'll move to the lawyers.
Good morning. I'm Bob Simmons. I'm an attorney in Emporia.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, I'm Mike Hilbert. I'm an attorney in Emporia, Kansas.
Steve Atherton, an attorney in Emporia.
Okay, great to meet everybody. And I have no idea was the last time this commission met. Has anybody been on this commission when it met before?
I was on the last time we picked.
Okay.
Yes. And I was on as well. I think
Yeah,
2008, Doug Jones was the last one we did.
that's
Okay.
correct.
So you'll let me do, if I do anything wrong, you'll let me know. Okay. All right. So the first thing on our agenda today is appointment of a commission secretary. And I did send you an updated manual in the last 5 minutes. It should have hit your email box. And again, everything in the manual is up to date except for the members of the commission, because we did have members of the commission that rotated off in March of 2022. The manual says that the commission must select a member of the commission to serve as the secretary. The secretary prepares the minutes of all meetings as part of the permanent records of the commission. The secretary must prepare minutes of any executive session meeting as part of the permanent records of the commission as well. The chair retains the minutes. So at this time, I would love to have a volunteer to be our secretary to take minutes. It needs to be a member of the commission and cannot be Shelby.
Yeah.
No volunteers? Okay, so I'm going to go in alphabetical order and appoint Steve Atherton to be our secretary. Thank you for your service in advance.
Thank you, Steve.
You're welcome.
Yes. Thank you.
This meeting is being recorded.
Great. Here we go.
Thank you.
All right. The next issue, and the notes don't have to be detailed, Steve. They can just generally what was talked about. So like the first thing will be appointment of a commission secretary, Steve Atherton. The next thing we need to talk about is establishing a timeline to fill this position. We are filling a district court judge position. And here's what we have to decide: when to post the notice of vacancy, the deadline for the nomination or application forms. Then we need to set a time to interview the people that have applied. And then, so those are the dates we need to determine. And then we'll also, at the end of that, discuss when we should have our next Zoom conference call to discuss the applicants that did apply and assign reference checks. So as far as posting the vacancy, we'd like to do that as soon as possible. And so I would propose, and again, I'm a non-voting member of this commission, I would propose that we post the notice of vacancy and send it out to all active attorneys in the state tomorrow, Friday, July 1.
Yes.
May I see a show of hands if everyone agrees with that?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so Steve, you got that?
Yep.
Okay, so we need to give applicants time to fill out the application. Shelby emailed you a blank copy of the application that we propose to use. If anyone has any objections to that or would like to add something, we can either talk about it here, or we could meet again to discuss that. But we like to give enough time. There's a lot involved in filling out an application, gathering all that information, getting reference letters. So we usually like to give 30 days. So that would mean that applications would be due on August 1st. We like to do that at noon so that Shelby has time to gather up all the applications and get them Federal Express to you overnight so that you have copies of them. In other nominating commission districts, we have had requests to email. We can email electronic forms of the application, but it has to be emailed. Shelby, what is that called so that it's confidential?
It needs to be encrypted. And I did find out after talking to some fellow JEAs that we can do it and send it through OneDrive.
Okay.
So that would be a confidential way to send it, and then everyone could just delete the folder afterwards.
Okay. So I think we definitely, it would be better, Shelby will send them all out, but they will be accessible online as well. But you will have paper copies. And at the end of this process, we will ask you to shred the paper copies. And we will also ask you to delete the OneDrive folder because of the confidentiality. May I see a show of hands of everyone that think it's a good idea to have August 1st at noon, Monday, August 1st at noon be the application deadline? Okay. All right, at that point, once we get the applications in, what the commission does is, and you'll see this as you tab through the manual, is it is really an extensive process of reviewing the applications and calling references, calling opposing counsel, calling judges that the applicant has appeared in front of, calling employment verification. So what we usually do is, since it is such a big project, let's say that we have, what would be great if we had 10 people apply. And if 10 people apply, then what we would do is split that up amongst the commission members so that each commission member is given a person, or sometimes we like to put a lawyer and a non-lawyer together on a team and work on that together. And we will share the information with other commission members in anticipation of the meeting, the interviews. Okay. So the second conference call to split up the reference check and other background information. I'm proposing either Thursday, August 4th or Friday, August 5th as a date for another Zoom call. If noon is a good time, or if a different time is a good time, we usually do noon just because if someone is busy, they can use their lunch hour. It's kind of a bummer, but
Either day works for me. I'm retired, so.
They're both fine here.
I'm available both days.
Yeah, I can make either day work.
Either day will work for me.
I can make either day work as well, Justice.
okay. Well, I think maybe we'll go ahead and schedule it for Thursday, August 4th at noon, so that you'll have more time to conduct your investigation before the interviews. And one thing I should have noted is that when the Chief Justice gives permission to fill this, which will be what, Shelby, tomorrow?
Today,
Okay. We have how many days?
45.
45 days to get the names to the governor. So that's why we're on kind of a rigid timeline. So that would mean about mid-August, August 15th. So I am proposing either August 10th or August 11th for in-person interviews. And I guess the first question would be is, are you available on both August 10th and 11th? And depending on how many people we have to interview, like I said, it would be great if we got 10 people, maybe 20-minute interviews with 10 minutes in between. So it could take until, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, or if we only have 5 applicants, it may just take the morning. But what we will do at this meeting is you will interview the applicants and then have a discussion and end up with, is it 3 to 5 or just 3, Shelby?
3 to 5.
3 to 5 names to the governor for her consideration. So it will be, a packed day. So does anybody have a conflict on Wednesday, August 10th or Thursday, August 11th?
I am completely booked up on the 10th already. The 11th is wide open though.
Okay.
I'm good either day.
Is the 11th not good for anyone? Okay. Oh,
It is good.
okay. All right. So we'll do Thursday, August 11th. Let's plan on convening at 8:30 a.m. And then we'll start interviews at 9. Is that right, Shelby? Or do we start interviews at 8:30?
No, 8:30. I just want you guys to all start at 8:30 so you can come in, get some, breakfast snacks, get to know each other a little bit, and then the official interviews can start at 9.
Okay.
Where are we going to conduct the interviews?
Well, I guess I jumped the gun a little bit by not going to my number 4 on my agenda. The question is, do we want to hold interviews in person or by Zoom? And then if we do want to hold them in person, then the next item on the agenda is where they would be held. Does anybody have a preference either way?
Well, I would prefer that we interview them in person.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree. I think Zoom is, if it came down to somebody not being able, like on the commission, that wasn't able to be there because of COVID or whatever, maybe we could have them join by Zoom. But I think the interviewing process should be live if we can.
Okay. So the next question is where we should hold interviews. And I am not that familiar with Emporia. I could actually call Judge Wheeler and we could see if we could use the courthouse. Is the courthouse, is there
I was going to suggest that, Justice. That's what we did last time, because there are separate rooms on the second floor that you can break out. You can keep people separated if you needed to during the interviewing process. And the last time we did that, I know Leanne was there and it worked smoothly.
Mhm. That's
Okay.
good.
Okay, and then the only other question would be was that a jury room in case it was a jury trial or it wasn't?
It's a jury assembly room is what they use it for mostly, but then they have two offices or separate rooms off of that can be secured. So there's plenty of space and it's a place that can be secured. So
And we wouldn't be starting any jury trials at that
no.
late in the week, so.
Oh, that's a very good point. Thank you very much, Steve. That's a good point. Okay. All right. So our plan is to meet at 8:30 a.m. at the courthouse. I will contact Judge Wheeler, Chief Judge Wheeler, and give that information to Shelby, and then we'll send it out. Well, actually, there'll be a notice sent out to everybody because it's a public interview if people want to come and sit in.
Right.
What other matters does anyone on the commission want to discuss? What kind of questions are there? That was kind of the end of my agenda. Does anybody have any questions? Cindy, it seemed like you might. No?
I don't. I'm sorry. I just got back from vacation this morning. I'm trying to catch up, but I will catch up. And thank you for resending the manual. I'm like halfway through it.
Okay. Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then the next time I see you will be in a Zoom conference call to assign assign applicants for background checks. So that should not be a long call. And then I'll get to see you in person the week after that, which I very much look forward to. Meanwhile, if anybody has any other questions.
Well, Justice,
Yes.
ma'am, excuse me. So the KBI doesn't do the background checks?
The KBI does do the background
It does,
check.
okay.
Right. So once the applications are received on Monday, August 1st, the KBI does background checks. I probably shouldn't have used the word background checks. I should use the word reference checks. So verifying information that's in the application as far as I noted, opposing counsel or the references they listed, but as far as a background check into criminal background, credit history, things like that, the KBI will do. Is it the KBI, Shelby, or is it right?
Yeah.
So the KBI will do that, and we will have that information, and we will be able to go into executive session if there's anything in there that we need to talk about. So you will have that information. When does that usually come in?
I usually get that back before we meet again for our second Zoom meeting. So
Oh, wow.
I'll have any information in front of you that day that they may need to know about ahead of the interviews.
So applications are due August 1st and the KBI will come back by August 4th with?
Yeah.
Okay. And you normally don't see if there's information in there to discuss, then we discuss it, but we normally don't hand out the responses, right? No. But there will be like an NCIS kind of background, if that's what it's called. So very good question, Bob. And sorry, that was my fault. Any other questions?
Preparation of minutes, do you want me to do those or how do you want that done?
You can just type it up in an email and email it to Shelby.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be all formal or anything, right, Shelby?
No.
Okay. It won't be.
So I think I've made an enemy for the rest of my life in Mr. Apple. So I'll have to bring him cookies when I come down there.
Justice?
Yes.
Sometimes my sense of humor isn't what other people's is, but I was just going to ask that I presume that if any of the applicants have to take the fifth on any of the questions, they're immediately disqualified.
So,
Thank you.
Probably. I would probably say yes. Anything else? All right, I'm sorry this went so late. I appreciate you meeting and I apologize for the short notice on this. We had, as you may or may not know, a pretty big opinion that needed to get out. And so I got Judge Wheeler's notice and then I didn't contact you for 2 weeks. So that's my fault. And if we have other openings, I promise that won't happen again. Okay. All right. We'll see you in about a month.
Thank you very
Sounds
much.
good.
Okay, thank you.